And then we had the package from Crown Jewel with Cena against Solo, and Paul and Solo and Jimmy Uso actually were in the ring already for their promo. We didn't get the entrance. I guess they were running late for some reason. But Paul did again a masterful heel promo. I don't want to do the whole thing or try to recap it, but he was building up Solo as the reason why John Cena isn't here tonight and he'll never be back. And you can thank Solo, and you can thank Solo for this bad thing happening, that bad thing happening. And he says goodbye to John Cena. And he said, oh, and then he made fun. He said that this is the time that the music should play and he would come out and he'd beat us all up. Well, he's not, and he's never will because of Solo. And he had really built the thing up good where you could tell he was about to go home and he was putting Solo over. And the music interrupted, but it was LA Knight. And now they're sick of listening to Paul Heyman and they're ready to see LA Knight kick the shit out of him, right? And so and he's over. And he gets a big pop and he comes out and cuts the promo from the entranceway. The only reason that Roman Reigns is still the champion instead of me is because of the bloodline. And now the fans are yaying him like they whatted Austin working with him. They're not whatting him or yaying him to throw him off or because they're bored or it's the thing to do. They're working fucking with him. And he's got the cadence where it works. He's smart enough. He can figure it out. And basically, he says that everybody in the bloodline is going to fucking fall until it's him and Roman. And tonight, Jimmy is first. And he called Heyman MC Boss Hog. And as soon as he gets in the ring, they go to the break. But in this case, yeah, you want to see LA Knight beat up Jimmy Uso? I'll sit through the fucking break. 9 months ago, he was the head of the modeling agency. You mean to tell me that there is any doubt who the booker of the year is when Triple H has turned Max Dupree into LA Knight and Tony Khan has turned Edge into Adam Copeland? And then we come back from the break and they ring the bell for the match and immediately Heyman gets a phone call and he and Solo leave. And this is because I'm pretty sure that Jimmy's best use as a heel is not quite to the level of Dominic, where they beat him up all the time and they can beat him and, still fucking keep heat on him. But the top guys need to beat him up most of the time. I don't see him as a dominant fucking force. And I think if Jay's going to be a world beater babyface, Jimmy may be a better chicken shit big mouth heel that gets a lot of comeuppance. But nevertheless, it was a WWE match. LA Knight fucking does all of his stuff, and then the heel stops him and gets some heat. But LA Knight got more of this match than most of the time because he's LA Knight and they're really pushing him. And Jimmy was in control briefly, and then LA came back, boom, boom, boom. And then at that point, here's nothing with Jimmy. Did you notice he blew a spot kind of early? Well, they recovered from that, but then at the point where LA Knight started fighting back and started to open up his comeback, he did a DDT and both of them were selling, and LA apparently had to tell Jimmy the rest of the fucking entire match. I don't know. And then as he was making a comeback, or as LA was making a comeback, Jimmy was still fairly confused. But they did a complicated back and forth then, and LA Knight hit to finish 1, 2, 3. Again, it's an elementary wrestling match. If you were a fan of the territories in pro wrestling days, you would think this is the most boring show ever and what the fuck is going on here. But as wrestling exists today, it is the opposite of what AEW is doing, which is everything wrong. They give you a little bit. They get you into the personalities. They're stars. And then they do a simple angle, a simple finish, and a simple angle. And then they give you a filler for another 45 minutes. And it's working because the other shit is just caca. It's a shame there's no actual real good shit, but err on the side of safety, apparently. And then Solo came out and distracted him, and Jimmy nailed LA Knight, and Solo spiked him, and they started getting heat. And then here comes Cody, and he makes the save in his suit, and they have a big fight, and the heels powder, and Cody and LA Knight are together in the ring, positioned perfectly. Cody's already over. LA Knight's just got there. Now they're firmly side by side. And it's simple and easy to understand.
Yes, it is. So simple, I can't really add too much to what you just said.